Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining our webinar this morning. MX Data is excited to be partners with HP as distributors for point-of-sale hardware solutions. Todd Renner from HP is here today to discuss HP and new point-of-sale offerings launched at NRF this year. Todd, please take it from here.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate your time. We're going to spend the next little bit giving you an update on a couple of new things that we launched at NRF and a quick pass through on the entire portfolio so you can see what and to the success that HP is currently having in the marketplace. So with that, we'll get started. For those that don't know, HP's got a full line of POS devices and peripherals, printers, cash drawers, scanners, and the like to round out a complete solution. And we just got the most recent IHL data. They're the people that track market share in this space. And HP is #1 again in point of sale in worldwide chip share. And we've been that way for 11 of the past 12 quarters and 4 consecutive years. So HP is growing our business and taking market share from the competition. So it's a very, very good time to be working at HP and be an HP customer. Part of the reason that we experience that success is what you see on the screen here, our value proposition. And I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on the entire thing, but I do want to highlight 2 things. And this is kind of the why HP wins part of the story. #1 in the value proposition is the life cycle. So the majority of our point of sale terminals have a 10-year life cycle. And by that, I mean, there's a 5-year life for manufacturing, followed by 5 years for ongoing support. Think the warranty support. So for a total of 10 years. Many in the market will have 5 years, some will have 7-year, but 10-year makes us unique in that space. So it's nice for a customer who's doing a rollout to know that the gear they're getting in store 1, terminal 1 will be the same in year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, that kind of thing. So life cycle is a huge reason for our success. And couple that with the warranty. So the standard warranty that we offer with our point of sale terminals is a 3-year on-site next business day warranty. And for the peripherals that come with it, the cash drawer scanner, receipt printer, it's a 3-year advanced exchange for those peripherals. So we'll ship you a unit, you'll remove the replacement, put the bad one in the box, apply the self-addressed label that we have for that peripheral and send it back to us. So that 3-year warranty is included in all of our proposals. And we have something called care packs, and care packs are warranty upgrades. And again, part of the secret sauce is it's a very affordable, really strong total cost of ownership to go from that 3-year on-site next business day standard warranty to a 5-year on-site next business day warranty. And that would include the peripherals as a 5-year advanced exchange for the peripherals. So those 2 things, life cycle and warranty, are reasons that HP has a leadership position in the marketplace. Okay, so just a couple of things that we see big picture from an industry perspective that drive our thinking, and which in turn drives the development and design of the products that we have and the ones that we just launched at NRF. So we've all gone through the COVID space. COVID really accelerated a lot of the technology investment that folks had to figure out how to work with my customers that aren't going to be in my store anymore. They may be buying online, picking up in store. There may need to be a curbside, kind of a remote pickup point and payment point. So there's continued investment by retailers to continue this modernization even after the COVID dollars that they spent. Omni-channel, it's a completely overused term, but that continues to be the mantra of the day for the industry. How do I create an experience online that matches what I'm going to do in store? How do I blend those together? How do I make sure that if I order something online, I can pick it up in the store, I can return it in a store, and they're all tied together in systems and not forcing people to have to deal with multiple systems that way. Labor shortages, this is a huge issue and it's going to be with us for a while. Still sort of surprising to me where all these people went with the unemployment rate being so low and everybody being so short-staffed, and seeing that the hourly rates have gone up. But labor and labor shortages continue to fuel a lot of the technology thinking and investment, and specifically the ideas of cashierless shopping, the ideas of self-checkout, unattended checkout, places where I now have a quote unquote a cashier, an automated cashier who's open 7/24, doesn't take vacations. I don't have to worry about them showing up on time or showing up at all in some instances from a labor perspective. So labor is a key driver in the technology march forward for a lot of the retail industry and broadly speaking, the overall economy. Payments, being able to take payments in multiple places, multiple different ways, multiple different kinds of payments. It used to be just credit card, then it was debit, and now we're paying with our phones and paying online, paying with Venmo, with PayPal, with Apple Pay, Google Pay. So it's being able to manage those across the omni-channel. The idea of security has never gone away. It's even more important today than ever. And how do I manage the endpoint security, those devices at the store being attended or unattended, and manage and securing those down. So this is my portfolio today. If I had to go install something, we're going to spend a little bit of time on each one, and I'll call out the ones that are brand spanking new. But in the upper right, you see modular, and that's how we got into the business back in 2003. So we've been at point of sale and building purpose-built industry-specific devices for the retail space. These are not just PCs that we're rebranded and putting out in the store. These are built specifically for the retail environment. So we've got modular devices up top there. In the upper left, you see our all-in-ones, and they come in sort of a good, better, best performance stack, if you will. We'll touch on those in a moment. In the middle there is sort of the best of both worlds. Mobile is a huge point of interest, huge point of deployment of technology today, but it's finding the right mix of a consumer versus a commercial grade, the life cycle of those. Maybe sometimes I need mobile, sometimes I need fixed. How do I get the best of both worlds? And HP's done a really neat job with our convertible offering. You'll see that in a second. I mentioned earlier, as a part of the care pack and the warranty, that we have a full line of peripherals, but the only peripheral that we don't have our own embedded scanner scale if you're in the grocery space, but have just about everything else. One of the things I would note too is we have a relationship with Epson. So HP sells Epson branded thermal receipt printers, not their entire portfolio, but a large component of it. And the warranty that you get from HP on those Epson printers is actually a little bit better than what you get from Epson. And that's per our Epson OEM rep. But by that I mean, ours is that advanced exchange next business day, the 3-year that's included, or that care pack to take it to a 5-year next business day advanced exchange. The warranty directly from Epson is a depot, which typically is a 10-day to 2-week turnaround time. So you're actually getting, I think, a better warranty on the Epson printers from HP. And hopefully you'll keep that in mind if you're an Epson printer customer. And then finally, we're finally into our own branded self-service device solution with the Engage Express, and we'll talk about that a little bit as well too. So just a quick hit on some of the modular devices. This is the Engage Flex Mini. It's typically not used as a point of sale device. It's something you'll see either inside or behind something. It might be driving digital signage. It might be mounted to a standard display to create an all-in-one manager's office back workstation. If you go into your local Subway restaurant, as an example, it's the heartbeat of their video surveillance system. They like it because of the size. It can handle multiple terabytes of storage from a video perspective. There's a tremendous amount of connectivity on the device. It does not have the powered ports like the rest of the products you're going to see here, which is the primary reason that it's not used for a point of sale workstation. But we get a lot of requests for this device doing a lot of things for retailers throughout the store. It's actually the device too that we were using as our initial Edge product for those folks that have an interest in the Edge technology and kind of the Edge next wave of solution set. The other modular platform that we have, and that we're actually in our 5th generation of this particular platform, current product is called the Flex Pro and the Flex Pro C. The C is the unit on the top of the other one there. C stands for compact. So again, not one you're typically seeing for point of sale, although we do sell it, at the checkout lane. But it gets used a tremendous amount as a back office manager's workstation because they want to have the same technology front of the house as back of the house, and they don't want to have to chase PC technology every 18 months to 3 years if you're buying HP PCs or Lenovo or Dell or whoever. So it's this long life cycle with lots of configurability that they like a lot, not only for front, but also for back of the house. It's also, quite frankly, a device that we sell a lot to our OEM partners. So next time you're at the doctor's office or getting an x-ray or an imaging of some sort, it may be the Flex Pro or Flex Pro C that's inside the larger medical device that you see from Philips Medical, from GE Medical, those kind of folks, again, because of the life cycle, the ruggedization, and the warranty on it. This slide is just to depict that life cycle story again, so you can see back in 03, it was the first generation of this platform that we got into with actually a grocery customer in southeast part of the US called Publix. And this is the 5th generation of it with a Flex Pro and Flex Pro C. And we're launching the 6th gen of this platform in the September timeframe this year. So we continue with that 10-year life cycle for the boxes. Moving over to the all-in-one devices, good, better, best. The good is our Engage One Essential, our entry-level all-in-one. This is a 14-inch all-in-one terminal. It runs both Windows and Android and can also support Linux. You can order it a number of different ways. It can be on the stands like you see here. You can order it as a head only. So I could mount it to a pole, mount it to an arm, mount it to a wall. We actually have a partner who does work in the medical space looking to mount it to a medical cart that they can roll around out there. It's IP54 certified, so it protects itself from dust and liquid intrusion. Comes with that same 3-year warranty that I mentioned prior. Here you see a little bit on speeds and feeds. It's an entry-level device, entry-level price, entry-level performance. So we're using either Celeron or Pentium on here. It supports Windows 10 IoT, Android 11 open source or Android 11 GMS, a number of different hard drive and memory options. It's a fanless unit, which is why we have the IP54 certification. So we see this a lot in restaurant and QSR. We see this in specialty retail as a terminal up front. For those of you that have kids in school still and have to go to pick them up at middle school or high school, and oftentimes you have to do a check-in at the front counter, it'll be a device like the Essential that's sitting there that you'll type in, and typically they'll print a sticker with sometimes your picture, but with your name on it as well too. The next step up in the family is the Engage One. It looks very similar to the Engage Essential. The Engage One was actually our first unit out with this look and feel. The retailer is very interested in having less of a transactional experience for people in store with their technology and more of an experiential kind of thing. And by that I mean they want the technology to blend in and be a part of the environment they're creating in store. And so they wanted something that had tablet look and feel, sleekness to it, but they still wanted something with long life cycle and ruggedization that you don't typically find in consumer grade tablets. So the Engage One was our first device that came out that has the straight lines look to it, the thin look to it. We look to the side that gives it that tablet look and feel, but is the rock solid, stable, kind of industry leading rugged device. This device gets sold in a tremendous number of specialty retail locations. It's also a device that gets sold into the restaurant space. Subways and Arby's of the world, as an example, would be a customer that uses this. Multiple ways that this can be sold with different stands, either as a head only sort of mount. The picture on the far left where you see the column there, that's called our clean counter look, and we sell this frequently in the specialty retail environment. What you don't see is that the hub, where all the peripherals would be connected would be underneath the counter, and there's a single cable that runs from the head of the touchscreen through that column down the counter to where the hub is at. So I give a real clean look and feel to the countertop experience at the checkout environment. The picture also sort of shows the difference. It can be ordered in black or it can be ordered in white. And we see a lot of white being ordered in the specialty retail environment, less so in the restaurant space, but we've had a few customers that do that as well. This too is a 14-inch all-in-one, same form factor as the Essential, but has a little bit more versatility to it because it can come with a Pentium, an i3, or an i5 chip. This supports Windows 10 IoT along with Android and Linux. When this was launched back, it's almost been 5 years ago now, it was launched with Intel chipset, the 7th gen Intel Kaby Lake processors, and that Kaby Lake platform, Intel is not supporting Windows 11 on it. So this is a terminal that has 2 more years of life, goes through the end of 2025, but is going to support Windows 10 IoT, will not support Windows 11. So if you're interested in a Windows 11 approach, we would take a look at the Engage Essential, or what you see here on the screen, the Engage One Pro. This is the top of the line for us. It's really interesting because it can be configured as skinny as a Celeron processor all the way up to an i9. So there's multiple price points, multiple performance points where this can fit. And there's a fair amount of overlap between the Engage One Pro and the Engage One. And for those folks that want to move to Windows 11 that maybe started with the Engage One, they're moving to the Engage One Pro as a viable option for them. One of the neat things about the Engage One Pro comes in 3 different screen sizes. So a 15.6 inch, a 19.5 inch, or a 23.8 inch. The 15.6 and the 19.5 are the 2 that are primarily used for point of sale. The 23 inch you're going to see here in a moment in our brand new self-service offer. These can be ordered either in landscape or portrait. Landscape is typically the orientation of choice for point of sale deployments. If you were going to use it as a wall mount, unattended, maybe an endless aisle, maybe a kiosk, being able to do it in portrait orientation is kind of a nice option. The other thing that's sort of neat about this is on each edge of the touchscreen, all 4 edges, are some hidden USB ports. So in addition to the hub that would be at the base of the unit or cable connected separately, if we were doing a clean counter type of implementation, I can have an integrated scanner, and it's a flush mount. So in all 3 of these pictures, this is what it would look like if you had the integrated 2D imager scanner built into it. And that scanner could be on the left side, the right side, or on the bottom. So you can do price checking with this as a deployed unit in the store. So some neat options to it by taking advantage of the hidden USB ports. Here's an example of what those embedded peripherals sort of look like. So you can have the MSR on the right side in the first picture, showing the barcode scan, the scan field that's created with the integrated scanner, an integrated fingerprint reader for those that are interested in biometrics, and then a couple of customer display options on the top rear of the Engage One Pro. And then with the Essential, with the Engage One, and with the Engage One Pro, we have a multitude of stand options to fit virtually any kind of retail deployment. So whether it's sitting on the counter, if you need more upright, if you're in a bar restaurant setting and have a terminal on a cash drawer behind the counter, you need a little bit higher. We've got vertical stands. We work with our partners ENS and Spacepole, and because all these have Visa mount options, we can mount it to all kinds of poles. They can be mounted back to back. They can be mounted on arms that extend out from a wall. We use the large 24-inch Engage One Pro in kitchen display kind of environments. So literally a kind of an uncountable number of ways that this can be ordered and deployed with the various config and the mount options. And then this is a little bit of mix of what is current and more importantly, what's new. So HP has this convertible offer or convertible offering. And by that, I mean, we get customers that need fixed from time to time and want mobile for certain use cases, but don't necessarily want to have to buy one of each. It's been that, how do we multitask? Is there something we can do to combine the best of both worlds? And HP's done it. And this is actually our third generation of that kind of solution. The one we've had out now for a year or so is the Engage Go 10. It is a 10-inch tablet that is detachable from the column. So you've got options for built-in scanner, a built-in Ingenico payment device, optional cellular connectivity. So I can do transactions while it's in the stand. I can press the button and enter in the code. It allows me to detach it and take it and do curbside pickup, go out on a patio in a restaurant kind of setting. We've got folks that use it in a golf cart setting where the beer cart traveling through 18 holes is out there, and they can take transactions with a credit card because of the cellular connectivity. What's neat about the platform is at NRF we launched a brand new form factor. So we had the 10, and we've also now added a 13-inch form factor. For some, the 10 was a little bit too small to be working with at the point of sale workstation. So now we've added a 13-inch tablet using the exact same docking mechanism, the exact same stands as the other. It too has the wireless, it too has the cellular, it too has the built-in scanner option, it too has the built-in Ingenico mobile payment device option. So it gives a retailer a tremendous amount of flexibility to have it as a fixed device in those moments where they're busy up front and need to be getting customers through, but the ability to detach it and go do mobile kinds of activities either in the store or outside the store if need be. And more importantly, it's got the same design, the same aesthetics as the Essential or the Engage One or the Engage One Pro. So all this technology looks like it fits together in the store environment, adding to that experiential feel that retailers want to have in their store today. So a little bit speeds and feeds on the 10. I won't read these to you, but it's designed, it's a rugged design. It has that longer life cycle. If you've been in the consumer tablet space, you know that they're fun to use, but they don't hold up well in a rugged retail environment, and they're not around for very long. This has that, again, that 10-year life cycle that we talked about. It's got up to a 6-foot drop spec rating with a ruggedized case that you can put around it, a handful of peripherals to add to it, a jacket, a hand strap, a shoulder harness, just depending on the volume of mobility it's going to be used in. And then with the brand new 13-inch, same kind of idea, same ecosystem of docks, whether it's the Engage Go dock there you see in the upper middle, or any of the wall mounts that we have. Oftentimes, retailers will deploy these throughout the store, but they don't want to have to set it on a counter. They want to be able to mount it to the wall, and while it's mounted to the wall, be charging at the same time too. We worked again with our partners and came up with those kinds of devices. And off to the right-hand side, you see some of the other peripherals that can be built in as options into both the 10-inch and now the brand new 13-inch device. The unit can be in black or white. What I wanted to call out on this particular screen is in those instances where the 13-inch is going to be used 100% mobile, i.e. never being docked, you can order it with what we call a flat back, as represented on the right-hand side here. Left-hand side, you can see the pogo pins, and this is what connects and provides the power and the charging when it's sitting in a standard dock or being used on a wall mount dock. Whereas on this mobile, it's going to be 100% mobile, no pogo pin, it'll be using a traditional USB-C power cord that it could plug into, or we also have a multi-charging dock station where you can have 4 or 5 of these sitting side by side, charging overnight, and it's also addressable via the network. So if you need to do any software updates middle of the night while it's charging, it can get those updates as well. It can be ordered with or without payment. I mentioned Ingenico. The only payment device that we have as an integrated option into this particular unit, along with the Essential all-in-one terminal And one of our 6-inch customer displays is the Ingenico Mobi 5500M. You see it listed there in the second picture. And that can either be ordered through us, and if it's ordered through us, it comes with the Ingenico One Gateway Key pre-installed. So think sort of a one-to-many for payment processing, or it can be ordered from Ingenico. They have a specific Ingenico SKU that fits, that is the HP deployment of it. The insides, the technology is 100% the same. It's just the external cabinet, or the plastic, if you will, so that it fits inside of the payment device here. And you can continue using Ingenico payment devices out mobile, the 5500M in particular. The other brand new unit, and we're sort of excited about this, we're not really breaking any new ground because kiosk and self-checkout have been around here for a bit, but this is a 100% branded HP solution that again will be supported by HP, SKU'd up by HP, and falls under that same warranty as HP, called Engage Express. And it comes in either a countertop version or a pedestal mount version. Here you see what the countertop options look like. There's a handful of peripherals. You can either get it just the stand by itself. You can get it with an optional integrated printer, kiosk style printer. You can have an optional arm that mounts in front and have a payment device, Hypercom, PAX, Verifone, Ingenico, whose ever payment device you want, because it's a Visa mounting bracket, and put on the front of it. Or you can use the 6-inch HP customer display along with the Ingenico Mobi 5500M mounted to it. And there's an option for a scanner sitting to the side there. So if you're in an environment where there's large items and you can't really lift them up, you can take the scanner down to it in the bottom of the buggy or to the item there. In this picture, these are all Engage One Pro heads. You're going to see a couple of pictures of that in a second, but all of these Engage One Pros can also utilize that hidden USB port. And so I can have a scanner on any one of the edges of these devices, left, right, or in the bottom, to do scans, so that if I need scanning, I don't have to use the scanner attached here. It can leverage the built-in scanner in the Engage One Pro head. Here's a similar look and feel for the options if you want the floor pedestal mount. It can be a printer-only kind of mount. It can be a Visa mount bracket, so I can mount any payment device to it. Because of the larger pedestal as opposed to the counter mount, there's actually an option for a built-in presentation scanner represented by this picture here, and this would make use of a data logic presentation scanner. Or I can have the same scanner you saw in the earlier picture on a holster off to the right-hand side, or I can make use of those hidden USB ports on any one of the edges of the Engage One Pro and have the scanner on, creating that scan field all the time. The other thing that the pedestal allows us to do is there's slots on each side. So if I'm in a situation where I need bagging option or a bagging stand, if you will, maybe they're walking around with a small basket as they shop, I can set the basket on one side and have a bagging stand on the other side. And these the express shelves that you see on the far right here are adjustable. I can adjust them either up and down depending on what I want the use case to be. The other thing I wanted to note is because we're using the Engage One Pro as a part of the Engage Express self-checkout, I can use any one of the 3 screen sizes, 15.6, 19.5, or 23.8. And because they come in either portrait or landscape, I can order them in either portrait or landscape. So a tremendous amount of flexibility in what this new self-checkout solution can look like in your environment, whether it's attended or unattended. Again, these can be wall mounted at a whole range of places to deploy that now. And this falls under that HP warranty, along with a long life cycle as well too. So I promised myself to do this in about 30 minutes. There's a tremendous amount more detail on any one of these units, should you like to get more granular and to really understand the speeds and feeds of them. Everything that we've talked about now is orderable today and installable today. At NRF in January, we launched the Engage Express, the self-service solution, and we launched the 13-inch convertible offering as part of the Engage Go. But we'd love to be able to answer any questions. Please reach out to your contacts at MX Data to get details. Happy to do a presentation if interested. We have programs to secure demo equipment if that's of interest too. So let me stop there and open up the floor. I'll turn it back over to the MX team. Answer any questions maybe came in either via the chat box or if somebody's got a question they want to ask live.
Yes, thank you, Todd. We do have a few questions that have come in and would like to take this time for any more questions anyone has, but I'll go ahead and start. What kind of ports are on the Flex Mini?
On the Flex Mini, so there are a tremendous number. The only port that's not on the Flex Mini is the powered USB port that you often will find on the POS terminal. So I wanted to make sure we call that out. If you want to plug in a receipt printer to the Flex Mini, you will need a power cord. That said, there's 7 or 8 different USB-C port or USB-A type A ports, both 2.0 and 3.0. There's USB-C ports. In those instances where it's being used for digital signage, because it can have 3 audio AV outputs, you have option for HDMI, you've got option for display ports. There's actually 2 flex ports in the rear that you can customize to whatever you want. That's why internally here we call it sort of the utility player, because based on the flexibility and being able to swap those ports out, you've got lots of different ways that you could use it. So yeah, that's the Flex Mini and the ports that are available on it.
Okay, great, thank you. Another question is, does HP have any tablets?
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing. So if you were to go to the Best Buy or ask maybe even some of our own HP reps, they would tell you that we don't sell tablets like competing with Samsung and the iPads, the consumer grade, because they're just such low margin devices. It's not something we're in. But that said, however, we actually do have a tablet. You saw it in the slideshow that we just went through, the Engage Go. That's part of that convertible offering, because it can be ordered tablet only. So it can be a docked system, but it can also be ordered tablet only. So HP does have a 10-inch tablet, and HP does have a 13-inch tablet, and we can offer some peripherals to it, like cellular, like integrated payment, like integrated barcode scanning, to address any of the use cases you have in your stores. So short answer, yes, HP is in tablet business.
All right, another question that came through. How hard is it to source these HP options right now?
We all, and I'm sure that's tied to supply chain pain over the last couple of years. So we all felt it. It was terrible. The good news is that right now our lead time on everything that you saw is running no more than 6 to 8 weeks. The modular devices are actually shipping quicker than that in the 3 to 4 week time frame. The longest turnaround we have on any of these devices is 6 to 8 weeks. So everything that you saw, 6 to 8 week lead time is what we're running at today.
Okay, there was another question that was similar. What is the current average availability for the Engage One systems?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
What's the current average availability for the Engage One systems?
Yes, so our distributors that work with MX Data have some of these in stock. They call them smart buys. So if you needed a couple of units and had some flexibility in what your configuration you were willing to work with, some of these are available for immediate shipment. The vast majority of our retail customers and retail in general does custom builds or CTO builds, and that would fall under the same timeline I mentioned before for lead time of 6 to 8 weeks being the worst for the Engage Ones, which are our all-in-ones, and the modulars are again running in the 4-week time frame. So.
All right, thank you so much. We don't have any other questions. I'll give it a
Jada,
moment.
do you mind if I have a question for Todd?
Yeah,
please.
Todd, do you mind going back to that slide with the Engage one, because I kind of want to talk about the configuration for a retailer if they want that wire-free look at the cash wrap.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this
like
one?
that one. Go
Okay.
back to that next slide, the one in white.
This one here?
Yeah. So if the retailer is looking for, like I said, the wire free, so technically what they do is, would they drill a hole underneath that for that to sit in, and then the cords connect underneath?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So what you don't see here is when you order it, you would order it without the stability plate, and just with the column here. And when you do that, it ships with like a coupling piece, if you will. So what you don't see here is there would be a hole drilled in the counter. You'd have that coupling piece in the hole. The column would connect to that coupling piece. So if I'm banging on the screen, it's not bouncing around. It's rock solid stable. That's not going to tip over or anything like that. And there's a single USB-C cable that runs from the touch head through this column, through the hole in the counter, down to where the hub would be. And the hub, of course, is where all the connectivity to peripherals would be. So presumably a barcode scanner, a thermal printer, maybe the payment device, and the cash drawer would all be connected underneath. So that's kind of what's behind the curtain in this picture here.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. We've had a lot of questions about that over the last several months, so thank you for explaining.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
I don't have any other questions. Jada, do we have any other questions coming through?
Yes, there was one more question. What's the typical return and exchange policy?
Typical return and exchange. I guess it depends on the circumstance. If there's a unit that shows up out of box issue for any reason, obviously that'll be replaced under the warranty. There is I think it's a 30-day where we would do like a whole unit swap as they come out and doing a break fix kind of replacement on the unit. So if you would send a note to the MX team, and they can get to me on the specifics of it, because I would want to answer it very detailed based on the particular unit you're looking at. But we absolutely do have a return and exchange program.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I don't see any other questions coming in. So I'll just go ahead and close it up. Thank you again, Todd. Thank you everyone for joining this morning, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their day.
Thank you all.